Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Decentralized Masters podcast, your go-to source for everything DeFi. I am Jon, and I am here with today's co-host Tristan. We're going to go ahead and guide you through the ever-changing world of DeFi, one strategy at a time. And remember that every week, right here at Decentralized Masters YouTube channel, we go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to bring you the latest news and tools to go ahead and help you master DeFi. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and go as usual, going into the charts, looking at how the market is doing. But before I do go ahead and do that, how are you doing today, Tristan?
Not bad, not bad. The market is kind of, consolidating right now. I think that's a good word for that. A little bit down in a few places, but Bitcoin seems to be holding up above 100K, which is a really good sign. So yeah, a good day for crypto and a decent day for myself.
Yeah, a little neutral day.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen over the weekend. I mean, just literally last week, a lot of things to talk about in today's podcast. So make sure, guys, comment, like down below, and as well, if you are interested in joining our free community, go ahead and check it out. Link down below in the description. With that being said, lots of news to talk about. One of them being Trump's token and a few other news. But before I do go ahead and get started with that, let's go ahead and take a look at crypto bubbles all across the board right now. A little bit, I would say neutral, a little bit of red here and there, but nothing to be concerned of, in my opinion. We are seeing a few tokens right here, like this one right here, that took a little bit of a hit, this fart coin. I'm assuming it's a meme coin. So as I mentioned, I've been mentioning to the private community that meme coins will be getting hit very hard during times like this in the market. But why don't we go ahead and take a look at what is going on with the crypto fear and greed index chart. So taking a look at the greed and fear, we're looking at 66 at greed right now. Yesterday we were at 59, so we see that the sentiment has changed slightly. Last week being at 59 level of greed with 19% of 24-hour volume increase. So it does seem like a little bit of excitement is coming in through the market right now at the moment. So now let's go ahead and make the pivot into talking a little bit about technical analysis and what we could be expecting with the overall market. Now, keep in mind the reason why we talk about Bitcoin, as I always usually mention, is because Bitcoin will go ahead and lead the market. So we need to get our information from Bitcoin to then better position ourselves when it comes to our altcoins, our lower cap tokens such as the meme coins, or even the speculative bets such as real world assets. I wouldn't really consider it, but that's within the category. It's considered speculative. Gaming, what else do we have in that space? AI. These are like higher risk. That's what they're looked at. Even though we have been seeing a lot of AI tokens do very, very well. So congratulations on all of you that have been holding on to AI. But let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin right now. We do see that we were talking about how there's a possibility of this double bottom breakout formation happening last week. And we actually went ahead and had the breakout, which is really, really exciting to go ahead and see. So far, Bitcoin is holding support at what we see to be around this $99,000 range. Keep in mind, realistically, Bitcoin could even go as low as around back to the $94,000 range and still be positive. Now, we definitely do not want to see that happening. I do want to go ahead and point out a few pointers, one of them being the most positive, which is we have this breakout. It has now been confirmed. Now we want to go ahead and see if it's able to hold this support. If we could go ahead and hold the support, which was once resistance, this is a really good sign for Bitcoin. I do expect Bitcoin to start breaking above this around this 106 $620,000 range. And I do see us approaching probably a new all-time high being set really, really soon. Now, keep in mind, our new all-time high from recently, a few days ago, was $109,000. It could be differently depending on the exchange that you're seeing this on. This is on the Binance exchange that I'm showing you the charts on. But $109,000 is the new all-time high for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see. Slightly to be accurate, it'd be 109,598,000. So in my opinion, I do believe we will be breaking that very, very soon. As long as we continue to hold this support right here, we could be seeing some sort of movement like this to the upside. So I do expect some new price discovery for Bitcoin. It looks very, very exciting. I think we will be approaching this $120,000 range relatively very, very soon. Now, with that being said, Bitcoin looking very, very positive. It has now officially broken. I do want to go ahead and talk about the bearishness, right? Because I think that we all have to be aware of what could also happen if it doesn't go in a direction that we believe in, right? I think that's the best way we could go ahead and take a look at this market, and also always be aware of where things could go ahead and pivot to, right? So we need to go ahead and adjust to market conditions. So this is not to go ahead and panic anyone, but I was also taking a look at that this similar structure that we're currently at right now actually looks very similar to what was the top of the market cycle last cycle. So very, very interesting. We had a double bottom formation happening right here, and then we ended up breaking down support, and then we had Bitcoin coming from around $69,000 and then crashing over time down to $15,000. But look at where Bitcoin is now today. Now, as I mentioned, this is not to go ahead and panic you or scare you, but it's always just a way to go ahead and take a look at the market and see both perspectives, right? You always have to stay open-minded when it comes to this. We can't always be bullish. We can't always be bearish. We have to also notice the elephant in the room. And that this is the elephant in the room, to be completely honest. I hope this is not the double bottom. I mean, a double top, because this is going to be not too good for Bitcoin, and that could mean that 109,000 or $108,000 range was the top for Bitcoin, and that means we'll more than likely be making the pivot into altcoins now. But something being positively said into that, I don't really think we're going to be doing that. Like, I don't think this is a double top. I don't think this is the end of the market. I just wanted to go ahead and point it out because I think I won't be doing any of you guys a favor, as well as myself, to stay protected in this market if we don't go ahead and address those concerns, right? So a lot of people are a little bit bearishness around the market. I've been seeing a little bit more bearish sentiment around crypto Twitter, pointing that out as well. So there is a few people that are a little bit concerned of that, calling this the top of the market, specifically because we also have that Trump token release. And usually, usually when things like that happen, that usually signals the top of the market. Now, like I said, I really doubt it personally that we are in the top of the market. I think there's still plenty of room left. I'll show you another few indicators, such as the Bitcoin rainbow chart that I have shared with the private community. But I did want to go ahead and address that because right here at Decentralized Masters, we're all about transparency, right? We're all here to give you the raw news and information about market conditions and cycles, because that is the only way we could go ahead and best position ourselves if the market is giving us signs of a reversal, right? So that's why it's important to always address both sides of the market and address both positive and negative to better position ourselves if that was a situation. So now with that out the door, as I mentioned, let me go ahead and talk about some areas that we do need to really go ahead and keep an eye on for Bitcoin. We definitely do not want to be losing this $99,000 range. As I mentioned, it won't be the end of the world if we do see Bitcoin come down here, and it doesn't mean that's a confirmation that the market is done with. The area that I'm really more concerned with is losing around this $88,000 range. Like, if we were to ever see Bitcoin come down to a zone like this, break down this major area of support at around the $88,000, and if it can't climb back up and it's struggling to break through that resistance one more time, then yes, that's it's not going to look too pretty for Bitcoin, and it's not going to look too good for the market. And the reason why I say that is because Bitcoin has been holding this range of support for quite a few days. It's actually been within this channel for about now being 67 days. So if Bitcoin was to all of a sudden hold this channel for about 67 days, and then these next coming weeks lose that major support that we've been in within that range, it's not a good sign. So this would be the worst case scenario. Like I said, I really doubt this would happen. I really don't think this will happen. I don't think we'll get there. But I just wanted to go ahead and point that out, that if we do start to see some sort of Bitcoin dominance weakening and also just buying pressure falling down and more selling pressure, then these key areas at around this $88,000 range and not being able to break past resistance one more time will be a major concern. But I don't think that would happen. I think we are more pushing towards the positive narrative, which is Bitcoin continuing to go up and making new all-time highs. Now, you may ask me, why do I feel so confident about that? Well, not only do we have this double bottom breakout pattern that we were expecting for last week, and we're glad this happened, but if we go ahead and actually take a look at a chart called the Bitcoin rainbow chart, you're going to go ahead and see why I'm not too concerned. Now, keep in mind, this is just an indicator. I know a lot of people have been saying this time in the market it might be different, but taking a look at this rainbow chart right here, it's still indicating, based on what we've seen from previous cycles, since going back in 2014, this chart has been pretty accurate. Every time it starts entering this red zone right here, as you see, which is considered the maximum bubble territory or the sell signal, usually Bitcoin tends to top since 2014. We saw it right here. We saw it at around 2017 as well when it started entering this red zone. And then we saw it in the last previous cycle in 2021 when Bitcoin started entering this, is this the bubble stage? And when FOMO started rising. And that was the signal of the top of the market. And if we actually go ahead and see where Bitcoin's at right now, Bitcoin is still showing that we're within this accumulation and buy zone. So really, really interested. Like I said, maybe this time is different. We always have to keep that in mind. But I really would say that I feel more confident that the market will continue to go ahead and go up, in my opinion. I think we will be seeing that new price discovery, which we already actually entered a new price discovery for Bitcoin, but we'll continue to see that price discovery increase for Bitcoin in the next coming weeks, in my opinion. Now, before I do go ahead and make a pivot, I do want to go ahead and ask Tristan, what do you think, man? Like right now, showing you this in the charts. I'm not sure if you were aware that what we experienced last cycle was this double top right here. Are you pushing more towards a narrative that I believe in, that I don't think this is a double top and we're more pushing towards making new all-time highs, or is this something you're concerned at all, or did you even know about this recently looking at the charts?
Yeah, so I did know that we're kind of making that previous cycle double top kind of chart, and it's kind of frightening. I'm not heavily investing new money at the moment. I just kind of want to see what happens. Of course, with everyone always says, "Oh, maybe this time it's different," and oftentimes it's not. But I am kind of leaning towards more positive market continuing, just because of what we're seeing inside the United States from President Trump. All it takes is one executive order about creating a Bitcoin reserve, and then this market will see will go up more extraordinary. We'll see highs that we haven't seen before when nation states start buying. However, let's see if that happens. All his most recent executive orders have been not crypto based. They're kind of dodging around that for now. So we'll just have to wait and see. We also have leaders meeting in Davos this week from other countries around the world. Even Trump attended that virtually. So we could see some positive news coming out of that. We did see Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, say that he could potentially see Bitcoin hitting up to $1 million this decade in an interview in Davos. So yeah, I think if Bitcoin goes down now in this cycle, it will always come back in the next. So that is my opinion on the market at the moment, John.
100%. Well, I do want to go ahead and say shout out to Solomon. He's actually one of our analysts, senior analysts at DM. So shout out to Solomon. Wilson Wu is asking thoughts on Fartcoin. So let's go ahead and take a look at Fartcoin. I haven't looked at the chart, to be completely honest. I know this thing did very, very well. I think it's already been out for a few months, if I'm not mistaken. Let me try to see where I could get the best data. It's
When
probably
we
going to
looked at
be,
crypto bubbles, it was that one that was down 20% today.
yeah, yeah. Let me take a look at the chart. So it's actually this one right here. I
Yeah.
know this one went up quite a bit. I mean, let's see, 1.49 billion market cap. Like this is insane. I've been telling our community that I believe we are in a meme coin season. Like I really, well, not meme coin season, but we're going to be in a meme coin season very soon. Like this is a meme coin cycle, in my opinion. Like we've never seen such thing before ever happen when it comes to the market. Of seeing so many meme coins just go up to billions of market caps. It's been actually pretty insane, to be completely honest. Let's see if I'm assuming maybe Fartcoin it's in Solana. Okay, so let's take a look at what this is. I really don't know what this token is. I don't know if there's any utility. I'm assuming it's just a meme coin. I'm more towards the charts. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're seeing for this token, Fartcoin. So let's go ahead and see where things are going. So for me personally, if you're kind of asking, like, what are my thoughts on Fartcoin? Would I buy it? For me personally, I wouldn't. There is a high probability this might continue to go ahead and go up. I do like the fact that we are seeing some sort of staircase effect on this coin where we do see massive pumps, but we're also seeing massive dumps, which is very, very healthy in order for a token to continue to go up. So it does seem like this token has corrected along the ways, about 60% the first time. And then the second time, it went ahead and corrected about another 57%, which is good. And then our recent dump for this token was about a 55% dump. So it looks like it dumps in 55% to 60% increments before it makes new all-time highs. Now it looks like its all-time high for this token was 2.55 billion market cap, which is insane to say that this token went up that high. Now, the thing is with this token, you might think it's very, very silly, but I think there's a bigger picture to what we're seeing in this market that we've never seen in prior markets before. And I think it's really more of a middle finger to the system. I really think
Yeah.
that's what it is because we like think about it, like all this money being poured in. Now we just had Trump recently release his own meme coin that also hit billions of market
Mm.
cap literally almost overnight. And that was as soon, I believe, as soon as Gensler ended up leaving the SEC, right? So I think it's really more of a middle finger the to the system that we're in to go ahead and showcase that there's other assets, I guess, if you want to call this an asset. Well, basically it is an asset. Believe it or not, really, really interesting to call this an asset. But I think it's a middle finger to the system to showcase that the people really do have the power to come together and really push a narrative and create the value from zero to something. And I think that's really what we're seeing this market cycle, and that has been different from crypto prior. Like meme coins have never really looked like a thing to be proud of. It's always been a thing that to look down upon people when they buy these meme coins. But I think now meme coins this cycle have proven a point to a lot of investors and also a lot of our world leaders. I think it's really more of
Mhm.
those to, like I said, I think it's just a middle finger to the system and it's a joke. It's just really literally a meme to what they're doing. Now, would I trade this? For me personally, I wouldn't. I just do not like this chart, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it has already retraced about 58%. But if you are looking to go ahead and enter into something like this, it does look like it is forming this support at around this 1 billion market cap. I don't know much about the community, so maybe if you are interested into doing that, you could go ahead and head over to Coin Market Cap, search up the coin, or you could also go ahead and use a tool, one of my favorite tools for DeFi called dextools.io, DEXTOOLS.io. We are not affiliated with them. I've been using this platform since it launched last bull cycle. There's a pretty good DeFi platform when it comes to getting information with tokens, but you can look more into their website, their community. And I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a little bit afraid to click on their website because I do not know what they have in there. So I would rather just not, because we are streaming this. So, but yeah, you could go ahead and look into their community. But to be completely honest, I'm going to be honest, regardless of the token of the name, $1.20 million in 24-hour volume is really, really impressive. But as I just mentioned, for me personally, I wouldn't touch this coin. At least just not now. For me personally, I like to look for tokens or assets that provide an opportunity for me. So I'm not saying I would never touch this. I'm not saying anything negative about this token, and I'm not saying that this token won't go up. I'm sure it probably will. I mean, it's currently right now at a 1.47 billion market cap. I think that's already really crazy to think about,
Yeah.
and over $31 million in liquidity. And it looks like about 46% of that has been burned. So it looks like maybe they have a pretty solid community. But as I mentioned, me personally, I just like to go ahead and get into opportunities that one, I believe in, and then two, I feel comfortable with. And that's one of the biggest, and I will say this isn't advice. That's one of the biggest advices I would give all of you is get into things that you believe in and that you're comfortable with. Because if you're jumping into tokens, or asset classes that you do not believe in, it's going to be very, very hard to stomach when a token does go ahead and dump 30, 40, 50%. And instead of you buying and doing your dollar cost averaging, you're more than likely going to be selling. So for me personally, that's my thoughts on this token. I don't know much about it. I know it just came out back in October 17th, so it's been out for a few months already. Any thoughts to this, Tristan, or do you know anything about this token?
I know a little bit about Fartcoin. I was hearing about it as I was making this impressive run up. And just unfortunately, due to my kind of investor thesis, I kind of avoid meme coins. That is my curse. Maybe I probably miss out on some good opportunities. But yeah, just also looking at the chart right now, it looks like we'll probably come down a bit before it would come up. So I myself would avoid Fartcoin at this time, not just because of the chart, but because I avoid meme coins really in general. But if you believe, like, I think it was Murad he's a popular meme coin crypto investor. He has said that yes, that meme coins are kind of a middle finger to the system. They're one of the first things that you can get now that you, the individual, can get in before venture capitalists and all big money. So is there a reason to be invested in meme coins? Is there a story? Is there a narrative? Absolutely. Is it something that I would put my money in at the moment? No.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. It all comes down to preference, guys. Everyone has a different preference when it comes to investing. If you could stomach that 80 to 90%, then meme coins are for you. But if you can't, I would highly, highly suggest it. And to be completely honest, most people can't stomach it. So even though you might hear the stories of people turning a couple hundreds of dollars into millions or whatever the case is. It really takes a special person to be able to hold on to these tokens. Trust me. So if I like meme coins personally, I like meme coins a lot. I'm a big meme coin. I've always been big in memes since last cycle. Like I've always loved memes. Memes have always been for me.
They're fun,
Uh,
right?
they're fun. They're fun. You know what I mean? There's not really much you have to really understand, which is I think the reason what appeals to most people. Like you don't have to know anything else about that meme coin. It's just a silly token. But I think that's a good way for retail investors to come into the market. I think they're a little bit more open-minded to get into a token that they easily understand as compared to trying to comprehend what different blockchains to go ahead and use and how DeFi works. I think it's a really good way to introduce the public because I could assure you that with this Trump token, this is a chart right now. We'll talk about the Milani launch as well with her token Enzo. So as we see right here, Enzo, thoughts about the Milani launching her own cryptocurrency. So we'll talk about that right now shortly, but yeah, with Trump right here, I think this definitely introduced a lot of retail investors to even consider cryptocurrencies as a whole. And I think that's what we need for this market. We need more liquidity. And I think what we're going to be seeing now coming and moving forward is we're going to be seeing, if not, I believe we're already seeing retail pour in. We're going to be seeing retail just continue to come into this market because now we have literally whether you like Trump or not, and I'm not trying to get political, I'm a neutral stance into this. So there's no my opinion doesn't really matter. Whether you like him or not, he is the first president to launch a meme coin this successful too. So I think that's definitely going to go ahead, and it has influenced a lot of people into considering cryptocurrencies now because he is the first president, right? So I think that definitely does bring in more awareness to the space. The good thing is too that his team is actually in it, right? So I think this is actually good for when it comes to regulation. Why have someone who's going to go ahead and put regulation that doesn't even know how blockchain really works? Now, I did see an article today about Trump saying something about crypto like that, and then the community didn't like it. I'll look for that article after, but we'll go into that later. But thoughts on the Milani launch? So it looks like the whole entire family ended up launching tokens.
Yeah.
Trump, Milani, we had Barron, I believe, and also Trump Jr. So I'm not sure if the Trump Jr. one is confirmed. I'm not sure if that was an official launch, but it looks like everyone in the family has launched their token. Now, my thoughts about it, I think they're going to go up. For the time being, I would kind of wait. Like for me, I'm not the type of person like chase hype. Like if I miss out on something, just like Tristan mentioned, like it is what it is. There's a lot of opportunities in crypto, especially DeFi, but this should be an eye opener for you that if you haven't been in like DeFi, you haven't dabbled into DeFi, definitely check out our free community down below in the description to go ahead and check that out. Because this is really where the opportunities come in. And this is what I'm just trying to show you that this token was really more of a DeFi opportunity. And this is what DeFi offers. It offers you that edge compared to most people. Now, you could actually go ahead and buy this token. The Trump token's actually listed on Coinbase. It got listed on Coinbase yesterday. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Milani token and then the rest of the Trump tokens ended up going live on Coinbase as well. But for me personally, I do believe that these tokens will go ahead and continue to go up. From a technical standpoint, right now it does look like support is being held at around, let me actually give you the price range for this. It is being held at around the $30, which is pretty good. Now, for me, what would be an ultimate buy for me personally, which I might not get the chance to, would be definitely at around under the $28 range. Like if you could get this token under $30, in my opinion, I think it's a definitely buy. But if we do see this Trump token continue to consolidate within this range right here, we are more than likely going to see new all-time highs being set for this token. And I think the community's goal might be $100, to be completely honest. So we'll see how this token goes ahead and holds up pretty well on that one. Now let's go ahead and try to take a look at the Milani token. Let's see if I could find it. Let's see. I think this one was also launched in Solana. Yeah, also
I
launched in
think so. Yeah.
Solana. This one is a little bit lower than the Trump one. I don't know if they launched it differently. Yeah, this one actually looks worse. Like I think the Trump one looked really good, and this one did like the complete opposite. Actually, this one did exactly what usually meme coins do. They launch, they go up a lot, and then they dump. It looks like the Milani token. If this is the correct one, I'm assuming this might be a launch the first of the 19th. It says Milani meme. I'm assuming it is because this has a lot of money. It has 686 million market cap, 198 million of liquidity, which is insane. But the interesting thing about this one is that the 24-hour volume is $52,000, which you would think that a token with this much liquidity and this big of a market cap would have more than $52,000 in 24-hour volume. So it looks like maybe the community didn't really get too excited on this one. We do see that the Milani token did go ahead and hit over $13 on this, and now it's currently at $2. So realistically speaking, hopefully not a lot of you bought this token at these highs, but it is currently down over 81%. Now, for me personally, I like tokens that are down 80 to 90%. That is a discount in my eyes. But for me personally, if I was to consider to get any of these tokens right now, especially the Milani token, I'd probably wait it out, see if this is the ultimate bottom. It looks like $2 might be the bottom for this token. The only thing that I'm a little bit more concerned is about the $52,000 in the 24-hour volume. Like there's other tokens that are doing more volume than that. Like for example, one of them being the Luna, which is an AI token. It's an AI agent. And this token alone has 52 million market cap, but has 593,000 in 24-hour
Yeah.
volume. So the fact that a token like an AI token, that's an AI agent, has 593,000 24-hour volume, and the Milani only has 50, it's a little concerning, to be completely honest. Now, maybe the stats on the chart that I'm using are incorrect, so keep that in mind. I'm not too sure. But I would personally go ahead and wait if you are considering jumping into a token like this. But I do think that anything that's pretty much meme coins are going to continue to get hit pretty hard until we really start to see a little bit more of that confidence coming back into Bitcoin.
Would you say the volume difference there is dependent kind of on the strength of the community? Like there wasn't much of a buildup for the Melania token as much as there is for Luna, for example.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, community is one of the biggest things, especially when it comes to meme coins. And $52,000 of volume, it's not bad for a meme coin, but it is kind of concerning when they have 329,000 holders and the market cap is 686 million. Like it just doesn't add up. Like this token should be in the millions when it comes to volume, because when you look at the Trump token alone is doing 152 million, I believe we just saw, in volume. Yeah, 154 million in 24-hour volume. Now, keep in mind, this is probably just because, being completely honest, a Trump token is sucking up a lot of the liquidity all across the market. So that's why we're seeing a lot of red on a lot of meme coins. As you see right here on the right-hand side, you're seeing a lot of these meme coins right now taking a hit. Even the Trump token did come down slightly a little bit, but it's still right now at over $154 million in volume. That's quite a lot. So it definitely does raise, I wouldn't say some red flags, but it definitely does raise some eyebrows, considering the fact that that token has a very high market cap, a lot of holders, but the volume just doesn't add up. Like $50,000 in volume is very, very low. It would make more sense if the token was, if the token was in the millions, like let's say 1 million or 2 million, $50,000 of volume isn't too bad because the market right now is down all across the board. But being like a Trump token, I think it's definitely something to go ahead and consider. Now it says Brandon right here, which is Filippo, right? Filippo. The only official ones are Trump and Melania. The rest are not official. So was the one that I was looking at official? That's my question. I'm assuming. I mean, it had a lot of
I
volume.
think
And
so.
again,
To have that market cap is probably the official one, but the volume just, yeah, people maybe aren't as excited for the Melania token as they were for Trump. And we're stuck with Trump and Melania for the next 4 years. So these will probably be, they'll probably be the narrative for the next 4 years. So
I 100% agree. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at like this token right here, Degen. Like even Degen right here, which is an altcoin. It's a layer 3 basically. This token right here is at a 90 million market cap, 885,000 holders, less liquidity, but they're doing about 1 million in 24-hour volume. So it's definitely something to be aware of. Like I said, it's not that big of a problem. For me personally, I wouldn't be chasing these tokens. I would just wait for the market to kind of go ahead and settle in. I do think that this time in the market that we're in is a time to consider buying in if you haven't been exposed to the market. Now, if you already have some money into these assets, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, SUI, any of these tokens, for me personally, I would recommend, in my opinion, it's just my opinion for me personally, what I'm doing. And it seems like Tristan's also doing the same thing. I'm waiting to see how the FOMC meeting is going this month, because we still have an FOMC meeting this month. And I think whatever the Fed decides to say will and could shake out the market. And everything that we're seeing right now with Bitcoin could literally go the opposite way. And then altcoins will get hit even more. Now, I do think altcoins are in a lot of buying opportunities. But with that being said, if you're already exposed to the market, in my opinion, I would just go ahead and wait these next couple days, see how the market reacts, maybe set up a DCA strategy. If you're planning on buying, let's say, $4,000 of SAY or SUI, you put in $300 and just watch how the market moves. And then coming to FOMC meeting, if the news are negative, then you could go ahead and take advantage of the buying the dip opportunity. And if they're positive, now you're taking a lower risk to the downside in the market. With that being said, Tristan, I know you have a lot of things to share with us. Is there anything you want to go ahead and discuss here with Bitcoin before I go ahead and make that pivot with you? Your opinion on altcoins, any kind of strategies that you're doing personally?
Yeah, I thought I would just touch on the FOMC real quick here. Since the meeting is January 26th, so 3 more days until that. Um, in the past, when Trump was elected the first time, he battered he battered Jay Powell, chairman of the Fed, quite hardly over social media, saying, "Jay Powell, you better drop those rates." And I think we've already have comments from Trump attacking Jay Powell once again to drop those interest rates. So I think we'll see a continuing narrative from Trump's first election term of him trying to influence the Federal Reserve to keep rates low. Will we see the Fed actually keep the rates low, or will they have to move them up if inflation picks up? We'll have to see. But yeah, I think that will be another narrative that is coming back from the past.
What do you personally think? Do you think that they will go ahead and cut down rates? I mean, they were already public that they won't be cutting rates as much as a lot of us thought they were this coming up year. Now,
Mhm.
anyone comment down below what your thoughts are. Do you think the Fed will go ahead and cut rates after this meeting or not? For me personally, I think maybe no. I think they're probably going to drag it. What are your thoughts, Tristan?
I'm going to be with you on this. I'm going to take that chickeny line in the middle and say they're not going to do anything. They're not going to raise them, but they won't be dropping them either. They will just be keeping them as is, and they'll just be very inflation dependent. So they will, whatever their decisions are, they're going to cite inflation, whether it's high or low. I think they are just going to say we're going to wait and see.
Yeah, I definitely do agree on that one. I think the next meeting is it's March, right? If I'm not mistaken, the next FOMC meeting after this, or is it February?
Yeah. It
We
might
could
be March, but I
actually,
would need to double
yeah.
check. Yeah.
Let's also double check on that. But I believe FOMC meeting, the next one, I think it might be March, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think, yeah, so it would be March. So right
March.
here's the list. So January 28th and the 29th is what we're going to be having for the FOMC. And then for, what is it called? March is going to be the next one. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and make the pivot to you real quick before my
Mhm.
laptop dies. I just noticed my laptop is literally about to die. So you could go ahead and take over. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
charge it real quick.
Sounds good. Thanks for that, John. Yeah, so hello guys. I have two good picks for you today. One of them is depending very much on the altcoin season. And that one is same narrative to see like this will benefit very greatly from Trump's picks and his cabinet picks. So we're actually going to get to that one right now. Let me just share my screen. All right. So this is one that you guys are probably all familiar with, but it is Ondo. It is a fan favorite among decentralized masters. We talk about it quite often in our premium group, but also the free group as well. Ondo is pretty great because I guess you could say it's a venture capitalist top pick. Um, it's very integrated with institutions. For example, I'll show you here. So Ondo actually was a massive sponsor for Trump's inauguration. You can see it over here with Sol Sui. They were both, all three of those tokens were big sponsors of Trump's inauguration. But you can also see it over here. So Trump's SEC pick, Paul Atkins, He's on the board of advisors for a big company called Securitize, which is basically one of the largest companies when it comes to bringing real world assets onto the blockchain. So Securitize is also a large partner of Ondo. So in this web of relationships, Ondo has a clear connection with Paul Atkins at the SEC, and in turn, he has a connection with Trump. Ondo actually is also one of those tokens that Trump's personal company, I forget the name, it's World something Finance, but that one is one of those tokens
I think
that
it's World
Trump.
World Liberty.
World Liberty, right? Thank you. That is one of those tokens that World Liberty actually owns. So you can see probably some positive SEC rulings that will benefit Ondo in the next 4 years. So in a long-term and fundamental investment perspective, Ondo looks really good. Also, I wanted to just touch on the chart at the moment. I am not the technical professional that Jon is, but I would just also like to show here that Ondo is kind of bottomed out already. It had a token release, so I think it was like 100% of tokens were, so that there's a 100% increase in tokens, and everyone was kind of selling the rumor. So everyone, before the token release, everyone was selling, and that caused this drop that we're seeing here. But then it bottomed out, and then around this day, actually, that was when the tokens were released. And it actually didn't tank the price. It kind of just trended stable and has actually started to pick up again. My theory behind this is that although that they're dumping a whole bunch of new tokens, the facts remain that Ondo is a good project. So whether these devs, these venture capitalists, or these people who were granted these tokens, they probably didn't dump all of them. They didn't sell all their tokens. Why would they sell their tokens when the horizon for Ondo actually looks really good going forward? So we can see Ondo definitely getting some new bonds on its platform. We might even see Ondo being the first project to get tokenized stocks on their platform. So that is one of my top picks for this week, and something that I am keeping my eye on. You got any comments on Ondo before I move to the next one, Jon?
Besides the massive unlock that they had, I think that already happened. How did the market react to that? That was like my biggest. I know that was a lot of people's concern when it came to Ondo, and I believe people were asking that question too last week. Did you notice anything like significant when it came to the chart, or did it kind of just get washed in with this whole entire market just coming down altogether?
It kind of got mixed in. It was washed in. So leading up to that day, everyone heard that rumor. It was coming. That's where the sell off was. But once
Yeah.
that was actually in place, when those tokens were released, it actually started moving up,
And
which
that was
is,
actually on the 18th, or was that on the 19th?
I think that was, I don't recall,
16th
but it
maybe?
was it was yeah, it was like between the 13th and the 18th, sometime in between there. And then it kind of consolidated and actually started moving up. So Ondo is, the chart actually looks pretty good
Yeah, it actually
compared to
does.
other
It,
altos.
it,
Yeah.
it actually does look really good. It's actually at a pretty good area to what's coming near a good area to go ahead and buy. So I actually expected, to be completely honest, I expected Ondo to kind of have a little bit more selling pressure than what it actually did. And let me actually just go ahead and share the chart just so everyone could take a look at it. But it actually didn't really do much, which is good, right? Because I think this is what everyone's concern really was with Ondo. I really think to be completely honest, most of the smart investors and whales ended up selling their Ondo right here. Like this is what I
Mhm.
really think. Like a lot of like the smart money and a lot of people that were aware of the unlock coming in, they all sold in December. Because they knew of the unlock. So I think that's really where a lot of the selling pressure began. But it looks like leading on to the event, and I believe it was within this time zone, right? Within this time range right here.
Mhm.
We don't really see that much selling pressure. If anything, as you mentioned, we see a little bit more buying pressure. So I believe that it was one of those that because a lot of people were aware they started to take profits in early December, before the market did go ahead and correct. And overall, taking a look at Ondo, it has already corrected over 48%, and currently where we're at right now, it is at a 37% correction. So it's actually not too bad of a call to go ahead and consider dollar cost averaging into alts, in my opinion, especially a token such as Ondo with all the backing that you just mentioned. Joseph says, shout out to Joe. I think World Liberty runs off of Aave. I think World Liberty runs on Ethereum, I believe. If I could be corrected on that, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they own
Yeah,
Aave in the portfolio though.
yeah, they own Aave in the portfolio. Is this actually his token though? Like, I don't think this is his token, is it?
That might be a
Like,
meme.
yeah, because I know there's a World Liberty that was supposed to be launched. I'm not sure if it ever did, but
There's a World Liberty stock, but yeah,
that
I'm not
makes
sure.
sense. Joseph
Yeah, I'm
said it
not sure.
unlocked on the 17th of January. So yeah, actually nothing happened. And actually, if anything, it caused more buying pressure. It seems like more people were buying as soon as the unlock happened, than anything.
Yeah,
They are, yeah, you're correct. Yeah, they are using Aave for the DeFi and lending. Correct. For World Liberty, that is correct.
gotcha. All right, I think I'll get on to my second pick then. Yeah, but yeah, Ondo is something definitely to keep your eye on. My second pick today is actually not so. It's going on to my narrative of real world assets at the moment. So just in case this is the top, and this is the double top, and it's good down from here. Cross your fingers. I don't think it is, but just in case, of looking at investments that are outside of the world of crypto, but are still inside of it. And you'll see what I mean by that is what I'm looking at right now is Mantra. Mantra has been a very successful project. It has definitely focused on tokenizing real world assets. It has a coin. It's called OM. And the chart on that also looks not too bad. It might, right now, I'm really looking at will it break up or will it break down? Because it's been consolidating here for quite a while. So that's just something to watch. But I'm not in this for the token OM. I'm actually here to show you their tokenized real estate. So we go over here to Estate Protocol. So Estate Protocol is built on Mantra and is one of Mantra's projects. But basically, what Estate Protocol is they've tokenized apartments and other property assets in the UAE, Dubai, and they have tokenized them, split the ownership, and then put them on the blockchain. So here you can see one bedroom in the Blakely Tower. Make me log in. But you can see that these tokens actually come with a yield. So these properties are up for rent. And they look like they're nice places. something I would definitely consider living in. But these tokens will depend on real estate and the price of real estate in the UAE and not on crypto markets. So if Bitcoin does have its double top here and we enter, God forbid, another bear market, these tokens shouldn't these tokens shouldn't be relying on the same price as Bitcoin. They may actually go up. They may, as you say, zag when the market zigs, because real estate is often a very different market than crypto. Although they can both be affected by interest rates, the buying pressure for real estate in the UAE, especially when oil is high, can drive the price of real estate more than anything else. So that is one thing that I was just going to talk about here. This is KYC, so you do have to put in your information and then connect your wallet to get access to this. I think they don't really want, someone in North Korea being able to buy shares of real estate. But that is one thing I was going to bring up today. There's another protocol that I was going to show you. Same idea. It's not as complete yet as the Montrose estate protocol. I feel Rental here needs a little bit more work. The platform's just starting to get built up, but it's the same kind of idea. You get to see you have more options here. So you got the United States, you got some properties in Argentina, you have properties in Spain, you have properties in Mexico. So it's the same kind of idea. This is tokenized real estate that you can buy fractional ownership of, and then they come with an estimated yield as they've rented them out. And then hopefully, when you buy property as well, that the actual price of the house appreciates over time, and that you will also see throughout your tokens that you've invested in. So this is kind of that same narrative for people who are looking to look for outside investments just in case there is a bear market here. This is another kind of token that you can get into, like, for example, like I spoke about last week, PaxG, which is the gold token that is priced to gold. These are assets that you can get into that won't move with the price of Bitcoin. They are on more of a traditional price chart. Those are kind of a good way to get some diversification in your portfolio, so you don't have to feel these massive swings in the market as you normally do in crypto. But if you are a guy who's into meme coins, then an 80% swing won't bother you anyway.
Joseph's asking about Proppy. I believe Proppy is also within the narrative of real world assets. Do you happen to know anything about Proppy and Parcel from what it looks like?
Yeah, so I think I'm familiar with Proppy, less so with Parcel. Proppy is a futures market. So I'll actually show it. 2 seconds. Proppy, you're not going to get that same kind of yield that you can get with the estate protocol and Rental, but with Proppy, you have you're on the futures market. So you can specify which market you want. So it'd be like, do you want to invest in real estate in LA? Then you invest in a token that will fluctuate with the market in Los Angeles. That specific token I know has come down a bit recently, but you're not. It's buying all. You're getting exposure to all the property, not just one. So I think all the U.S. markets are on there. They have Dubai on there. That is a little bit different, but that is another good way to get some diversification and exposure to real estate in a blockchain kind of way. But yeah, you're not getting the same kind of yield that you would get through Montrose protocol and Rental. However, you're probably also getting a little less risk because now you're have exposure to a whole area rather than just one property.
And it looks like you could buy property with crypto and with Proppy, huh? That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
as opposed to like the fractionalized way with estate protocol, how you could own a fraction of it by buying a little bit of it, and you get the yield as a like rental income. But it looks like with Proppy, because I'm like in their website, I've never actually seen Proppy itself, but you could actually go ahead and try to buy some property here, and it asks you like a few questions. Let me share the screen with everyone. And like, what are you planning to pay like for your property? Like, it's pretty cool. Like, are you looking for property that, say, for example, I'll tell you the location you want to go ahead and check, ask you the kind of purchase you want to buy in crypto or in how much. And then it looks like they'll probably go ahead and connect you with someone. I'm thinking maybe an AI agent, to be completely honest, because like looking at what they offer, it looks like they offer like some sort of AI real estate agent, basically, from what it looks like. It's pretty interesting. So that's really cool. That's really cool. I know Joe has been mentioning this one, but it looks like they're also now tapping into the AI space with it, which is really interesting to go ahead and check out. It looks like they also have their own AI agent too. Let's see, where is it at? I'll also go ahead and show you. I think it might be right here, which is.
I'd like to buy a penthouse in Manhattan, please. Do you accept Fartcoin?
Hey, they probably would, man. It's at a 1 point something billion dollars. It's crazy to believe that, man. I think it's a
Yeah,
whole different it's definitely a whole different, like, universe that we're in, this cycle with crypto. Like, it almost feels, like, unreal, to be
yeah,
completely honest. Like, we have, the first president launching, their NFTs, which was also Trump a few years ago. He launched his first NFT, which I wish I would have held on to, not sold. Launches for his meme coin. Now we're having a little bit more regulation towards, crypto. It's like there's a lot of positive things this cycle.
mhm.
It's like I feel like last cycle there was more negative than we had positive. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people are under the impression that this cycle at this time is different. But
Yeah.
this is the Ondo chart. It looks really good. Anything else you need to go ahead and tap into? I think he gave some really good information. I really like that the estate protocol. I'm going to look into that. Is there any kind of I would say, what is the correct terminology right here? Any kind of way you do research when it comes to these estate protocol platform, when it comes to like considering like getting into this property instead of this one? Is it really just all based on like location, like in real estate, like location matters, or how big the place is, like, or what like are people mostly focusing on the yield? Like, that's what my question really is when it comes to this.
Yeah, I think at the moment that have such the problem with estate protocol is that their demand for these tokenized shares is so high that it doesn't matter what property that they put out, someone's going to buy it. Just because I think people are really excited to get that real estate exposure. But let's say looking into the future here, once there is tons of different offerings out there for properties, I think it will largely depend on like what's the risk like in that specific market. Is Dubai expected to grow higher than Singapore, for example? What's the potential yield on it? I think those different, as you could say, different functions, those different matters will decide the price of these tokens in the future. It's just at the moment, I think everything is just so new that we really have to wait and see what turns out. But yeah, I think traditional real estate metrics will ultimately dominate tokenized real estate metrics in the future.
Yeah, because it also looks like they only have properties currently right now in Dubai, huh? Looks like
Yeah.
they don't have other places. Probably
Dubai
due
is
to
actually
regulation, I'm assuming, huh?
yeah, Dubai is one of the only places in the world where a DAO, so a decentralized autonomous organization, can actually register as a business. So that's probably why Mantra
That makes
is
sense.
only in Dubai at the moment.
That makes sense. Nice. Really, really excited to check this out. I'm definitely going to go ahead and do more research myself on the estate protocol. I know you shared this with the private community yesterday, but I think this is some pretty cool stuff right here. Like owning at least a little bit of a piece of property still on the blockchain. you
Yeah.
know, Having exposure to real world assets. I'm really wondering if you could actually go to these properties and like check them out. That'd be like super cool. I'm sure the team's probably working on that. But do you have anything else you want to go ahead and share with everyone?
Those were my two picks. I guess as you can see from Ondo and you can see from my picks in Mantra, you can see kind of what my narrative, what my thinking is for my investments this year and probably going forward and for the next 4 years. Is that I think anything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. We're going to have the most crypto friendly SEC we have ever had. Goodbye, Gary Gensler. So I think in the realm of tokenization of assets will be the narrative going forward, and it is going to be really exciting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's really I think it's going to be really an exciting time in the market, and fingers crossed. Let's hope this is not a double top and the market continues to go. I really doubt it, but actually I do wanted to also announce to all of you guys, we are going to be streaming now twice a week because there's so much news coming out with crypto, and it's going to continue to go that once a week is just not enough anymore to cover everything. Literally, I think there's so much we could still continue to cover. But because we're running out of time, we're very limited. So we're actually going to be now moving forward. Actually, I wouldn't say now moving forward, because I think we're going to probably be going into effect with that in February. We'll confirm with you guys. We will make a public announcement for all those that are in our private community. So you guys will be the first ones to know. And for all those that are not, just make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified when we do go live. But we will be going, from what it looks like, from what we've been speaking with the team and Tristan, it looks like we now will be including 2 days. More than likely, it will be Tuesday and Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and figure out what's the other time for Tuesday. That's still being worked on behind the scenes. But once we get a little bit more information, we'll make sure to publicly announce it to all of you guys on hopefully our next stream. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. If you're done, Tristan, feel free to go ahead and just close it off. I really do
Yeah.
appreciate all of you guys tuning in today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, thank you.
And Joseph, I will do continued research in the state protocol. I'll try and get some more information for you there about timeframes, seasonality, and Airbnb. But for now, everybody, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you're walking away with some clear strategies and insights to push your DeFi journey forward. Remember, DeFi is evolving fast, and staying ahead means taking action with the right knowledge. If you're ready to dive even deeper and want to build a roadmap to build your own DeFi success, check out our DeFi Masterclass. The link is in the description below. In the training, you'll hear hands-on strategies to maximize returns, manage risk, and truly make the most of what DeFi has to offer from our CEO, Tan. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week's live episode. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you next time right here on Decentralized Masters. Bye, everyone.
Later, everyone. Take care.